Our United Way Spotlight this week is on Well Suited, and I'm joined by Clint Barker. Welcome, Clint. So glad you could join us. We never talked before. We've had Dress for Success a number of times, but never talked to you, so this is great.
Donna, thank you for inviting me to come along today and to talk to you. Yeah, I'm delighted to be here, and you're right. Yeah, you've spoken to Dress for Success before, so it's really great to be able to tell you what we do.
And what is it you do?
Well, we like to think that we're all about having positive impacts on men's lives in the Kingston community. So how we try to go about that is provide appropriate clothing or appropriate attire for men who are getting into the workforce for potentially the first time, or if they're re-entering the workforce, or even if they're already working, but they need new clothing to be able to do their job. So we'll provide them with some clothing, whether it be for an interview, or that they may have sort of like lost a few pounds and they need some new clothes, or they may have gained a few pounds over COVID and they need some new clothes. So, but ultimately it's to have an impact, to give them confidence, and in some cases to get the guys out of that poverty cycle and become good role models in the community.
And you feel differently when you're well dressed. You just, you carry yourself
Absolutely.
differently. Confidence, everything comes from that. When you know that at least that part's looked after, now I just have to sell the interviewer on my skills. So I could see it. It's a great service. But things have changed a lot with men's clothing. It used to be that you would always wear the jacket and tie, but that's not the way it is even in management positions anymore. Is that what you're discovering?
You're absolutely right, Donna. And in fact, I saw your interview with Hannah from Dress for Success a couple of weeks ago, and you mentioned that it's much easier for men. I'm not going to disagree with you. In my wardrobe, I have 5 pairs of blue pants that I wear and 5 shirts, all of different colors. But that causes a big kind of problem for us at Dress for Success, because guys will just wear their stuff till it falls apart. And the kind of donations that we are getting is, no, you're absolutely right. Yes, there is still a need for suits, but the majority is just some smart pants, smart shirts, and maybe a jacket to go with it. So you're absolutely right. We get a lot of donations through the door, and we will sort them. Not everything is appropriate. Like I said, the idea is not to have these guys going out dressed like a middle-aged man like me, but they want to feel good. They want to feel confident in whatever it is they're wearing. So times have changed, and we try to keep up with that as much as we can.
So there's some things that it's never been okay. Wearing a suspender and belt at the same times. There's certain things, but what are some of the, let's say someone who wears a suit or a jacket every day, what are some of the things that you say, never do that again?
Well, you know what, that is a really good question. And I'm going to bring it back even down to a more basic level. And I've done quite a few suitings now. And time again, we've got lots of examples where, guys are coming in. They've never only worn a suit before, but they've never worn pants before. They've never worn a shirt. And the transformation can be incredible at times. We've had guys who at the end of it, they look at themselves in the mirror and it's a case of, oh my goodness, I don't recognize myself. I have a great story where one of the guys came with his partner and she refused to let him take the stuff off. She left the clothes that he came in behind and took him home in what he was wearing. But so in terms of, the what goes with what and the rules, what you should be doing, it's fairly basic stuff, sort of like, do tuck a shirt in, don't have it untucked, so yeah, the kind of formality side of life is fairly basic.
And then there's the things like when you sit down, undo the button on your jacket so that the doesn't sit up like this if it rides up over
Absolutely.
your belly. Those kinds of things, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And even just what we do is the few people who have gone away with a full suit and a tie, then we'll always ask if they know how to tie a tie. If they don't, we'll do them a nice Windsor knot there, and we'll send them away with the tie for the interview. So all they've got to do is slip it over their head, and then maybe ask them to go to the internet, onto YouTube, just to see how to tie a tie in case that one comes apart. So yeah, we give them everything they need, hopefully, to be successful on the interview, if it is an interview that they're going along to.
Now, is it just for interview, or do you supply clothes for them to get them through the first week or two of their new job?
No, absolutely. So actually, the amount that we provide for interviews is very few, and this is a good opportunity just to talk about the where we're getting the referrals from. It's our other community partner agencies, such as Act for Me, Restart, the City of Kingston Housing and Employment, and even St. Lawrence College, the business program there. The guys are coming along. So it's not just for the interviews, it's also for the, if they're in a job that doesn't require a suit. As I said before, they might not be able to afford to have, a different set of clothing, a different set of pants and shirt for every day. So those occasions as well. Basically any occasion. We are trying to expand the range we've got for CSA approved work boots, for example. And, if guys are coming in and they're going to be ending up doing a construction job, it's nice to provide them with, warm denims or appropriate workwear, high visibility vests. So that kind of side of life, we don't tend to get donated, but that's up to myself and the other guys to try and go out to businesses, corporations, to see if we can get donations in bulk. And
I understand the United Way has a lot to do with what you do. So can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. I don't think I'm being too dramatic in saying that if it weren't for United Way and the grants we've had from United Way, we probably wouldn't be here today. I was speaking earlier just off camera about how Well Suited came about. And we only received our charitable designation. We only become a non-profit organization last May. So that was May of 2021. So we were kind of rapidly running out of money. We had to pay the rent, we had to pay our shop manager. And very luckily, we were the recipient of a United Way community investment funding grant. So that really, really kept our head above water, allows us to be where we are today, and hopefully will allow us to continue to become sustainable.
That's great. And we've got the information on the screen of where people can donate or get to know more about you or use your services. Thank you so much for being with us today.